Here we go, day one map talk with Garrett as he goes over our first trail.
Trail number 95. To make things more confusing, all the trails have a name.
On this trip, I brought along our new water bottle partnership with Bivo that will give back to the Sea Turtle Conservancy. The bottles will launch June 8th, World Oceans Day. Stay tuned for more details.
You! Yeah, Frankie. Where's your wheelie?
We headed back from our first ride of the day to camp to eat lunch, set up, and then head out onto our second ride of the day.
But it connects like right through there. We don't have to.
Quick chat with former professional cyclist Tony Alvarez.
So what would you normally be doing on a Monday at 6:21 p.m.?
Putting my kids to bed. Just got done with dinner.
We then set up camp. We rented all the gear from Western Spirit, which they bring along during each day and provide it to us to set up. We had about 4 campsites, and you can see us all split up here. Ladies were over on one side, some of the guys in the middle.
One of the best parts of Western Spirit cycling trip, don't have to fix my flats.
The opportunity to jump in frigid Lynx Lake was definitely a highlight for this campsite. While we were off on vacation swimming, the boys back at camp, Garret and Will, were hard at work making dinner.
It's day 2 in Prescott, Arizona with Western Spirit Cycling. It's about 5:30 a.m. I come to check out the lake, Lynx Lake. So yesterday, it was our first day. We rode about 18 miles and did 2 different rides, one before lunch, one after. And then we jumped in the lake. The best part is you get done riding and the trail guides make lunch, set up camp, make dinner, and even dessert. Including the guides, there's 11 of us. And all of us are from around the country. I brought along 3 friends. Tony Alvarez, Frankie Moser, and longtime travel friend Scott Rempe from Southern California. This is a 5-day trip. So we all flew in on Sunday, gathered in downtown Prescott on Monday morning, and then we shoved off from Prescott and went to our first ride, and then from there we'll travel to a different camp every night. Today we move on from Lynx Lake.
breakfast and a short pre-ride, we headed off to our next destination. It would take us to the ranch trail. That would take us past Goldwater Lake onto Trail 396.
Yeah, Frankie.
We would eventually
Where's
end
the
up
wheelie?
at White Spar Campground.
Just finished day 2 of riding, or at least riding for now. It's about 3 o'clock. We rode, I think, about 18 miles, 19 miles through the mountains, probably around 1,800 feet of climbing. We just set up camp. The group is spread out in about 4 different campsites. You can see the vehicle down that way, Western Spirit sport vehicle. And I wish there was a lake here like yesterday. Nice.
Upon arriving at White Spar Campground, we discovered Bean Peaks, which is a gravity flow trail system right outside the campground. A few of us went by and hit it up. What an awesome time.
And that's the QR code at PrescottMTV.com.
Awesome.
Okay.
That's really awesome.
All right, it's day 3 and outside Prescott, Arizona. A mountain bike trip with Western Spirit Cycling. It's about 5:15 a.m. It's still on East Coast time. Coming up the top of the range where we're camping. Gonna be another rad day. Today's supposedly another climbing day with about 1,800 feet of climbing on our bikes. Should be fun. Balloons suck. Don't use them. They'll end up in Mother Nature no matter what. If you ever see anything, pick it up. Throw it away. And where are you from?
California, Northern California.
What would you be doing on a Wednesday night at 7 o'clock normally?
Getting ready for bed.
Coming into this trip, Do you have any expectations?
No, actually, I was excited, a little bit nervous, a little scared about like how bad I was gonna be.
Were you scared about like the pace or like
No.
camping?
No, oh no, I love to camp. More the riding, you know, and it's worked out because obviously you guys are way above where we're at, and then we have our little group back here, and it makes me feel comfortable.
But it balances out, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it makes me think like why you guys would come on this trip, because I would think you would want to go on a way more advanced trip, because this isn't hard for you,
It's
is it?
to tame me down.
Okay.
Otherwise, we'll push ourselves
Keep you in
too hard.
check.
Yeah. What's your favorite part so far?
Oh, geez.
Any element of the trip? Food, hospitality,
I have to say,
location.
I love food. So, in fact, one of my friends, the first thing they asked me was, how was the food? Because I love food, and the food's been outstanding. I didn't have any worry about the food because pretty much I could find something. Of course, I love all the riding. The train's much different. We have rocky there, but not as much rocky, so I'm not really good at it, so I'm liking the challenges providing for me.
All right, it's Thursday, day 4, outside Prescott, Arizona. We're at 6,500 feet. This is, how many trips have you done? 10-ish trips.
A bunch of trips. It's a good way to get in shape. It's ride camp, where they feed you, take care of you.
And all abilities, right? I mean, here we got Frankie up there that's 27, and you are 68.
68.
And led the climb yesterday. Actually, all the climbs. So, fun for all ages, abilities.
It's a nice group of people.
Right?
It's the only good people usually ride. You get some roadies that want to maybe be mountain bikers, and we try to help them.
Day 4 was by far my favorite day, with lots of flowy trails through canyons and peaks on our way to Granite Basin. Flats wasn't going to stop us. After a rad lunch, we figured out a route on the map from Garret and Will and headed out onto another climb up for some more downhills.
climb. Shay behind me. Getting it done. 80% though. 80% Rempy.
All right, what would you normally do?
I would just be heading to my second appointment for the day. Maybe time to grab a rushed cup of coffee, and 2 more appointments after that, and then home to cook some dinner and a couple hours on the couch.
So what were your expectations of the Western Spirits trip and the outcome so far on day 3?
That's a good question. I didn't have, I tried to keep it open expectations wise. I figured we'd have good amount. I wasn't sure about the trails in Prescott, actually, to be honest, and I've been pleasantly surprised. Fun climbs, not too steep, really flowy, and the downhill's been great. Crew's been great, food's been great. Really good time.
Frankie, what do you think about the Beans trails?
Oh, Beans Trail is rad. Definitely recommend it to anybody.
Should we add it on to the Prescott Western Spirit trip?
For sure. That should be a stop.
Extra waiver included?
Yeah, extra waiver. There's good.
Extra radness included?
There's good trails for everybody. You got the intermediate, you got the expert, and then
right? It's like a downhill flow trail, but everybody can ride it.
So definitely good for all levels of riding for sure. Highly recommend it.
After an epic day of riding, we made it to Balancing Rock Camp next to Granite Mountain. What an epic day. We set up and eat an awesome dinner.
Kind of stuff that hurts the most, like the everything. As I'm watching everybody else eating.
So we're here at Yavapai Campground on the last day of the Prescott trip. Head back into Prescott today, back through Spence Basin. We got egg sandwiches for breakfast this morning. Western Spirit Classic.
Are there any standout guests? We'd probably boot off the trip if you had a choice.
All of the guests are standout.
So who's riding with us today?
I'll be riding today.
All right, this is Will. That's Garrett. He's on the grill.
Today we will be riding West Side Story all the way back to White Rock Trailhead, and then we'll be riding back into town on the roads.
Started day 5. We just had a pretty rad breakfast from Garret and Will in Western Spirit. Today we go back into town. It's a shame. I'd love to keep this up. Another week would be awesome. We've pretty much packed up our camp, and we'll put our gear on soon and head into a new trail system. Real quick, I want to show you where we're at. It's a pretty cool spot today. This is the first trip you've had with me and Scotty, and also the first Western Spirit trip. What do you think? What were your expectations going into it, and what's your view going out of it? Last day, day 5.
Well, let's see. When you called me and told me about this trip, I had no idea this was even a operation. I had no idea that there's a guided tour to take you around, camp, and do all of that. So I didn't know what to expect, but then I did a little bit of research into it, and I looked at the itinerary and everything, and coming into this I was expecting to be shown amazing trails in Prescott, Arizona, and not have to worry about where to go and what to do and all the food I gotta eat. And so far it's been great. They've provided everything, showed us exactly where to go, showed us the best trails here, cooked amazing food for us every single day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it's definitely not what I had expected, but definitely exceeded my expectations for it. So
how's that coffee?
Coffee's delicious, man.
Anybody's thinking about going on a mountain bike trip, they should definitely call Western Spirit. These guys have the operation completely dialed. Everything's taken care of. The bikes are great, the trails are great, the food is great, the guides are personable. It's been a top-notch experience the entire time.
Best parts about this trip with Western Spirit, we rented bikes from their rental fleet, 2024 Specialized Stump Jumper comps. We brought our own pedals and then adjusted brakes, levers, seat posts, and everything else, and tuned them in for shocks. They worked awesome.
A drop?
Sad to see the trip end, but we all rode from the mountains back into town and said our goodbyes. What an amazing trip. Thank you, Western Spirit. For more details on this trip and all the other trips that Western Spirit Cycling Adventures do, check check out westernspirit.com. This one is called the Prescott Singletrack Trip. They've been doing trips for a long time and know what they're doing.